Hi everybody, this is StariAri, and I'm here to give you a weekly reading for the week of February 12th to the 18th. I know it's been a while since I've gone and giving readings, but I have been pulled away to assess myself and inner work that I needed to do in order for me to be an observer of the energies within myself that are playing out in my exterior world. Sorry, I'm like getting tongue tied right now. But so I know a lot of you guys have been going through some heavy energies and understand that this is the moment for transformation. And transformation does not come easily to us, especially when we have made up our minds to continue on a path that is no longer serving our highest and best. What do I mean by that? Well, sometimes we get into these energies of, I guess you could say, complacency or stagnation in so many ways, where we are comfortable, right? We're comfortable where we're at. And sometimes being too comfortable where we are at leads us to seek um, these paths that are not best for our growth, right? Especially those who have come here as light workers. Um, we are constantly transforming. Our cells are constantly transforming daily. Everything about our body is never the same. So when we look at that in that terms, where we're looking at our subatomical structures and understanding that transformation leads to a better understanding of our role in the universal tapestry, we understand that it is necessary to do the same in our inner soul. So it gets uncomfortable, and that's okay because we are here to grow. We're not here to remain the same. We are here to recall who we truly are and to grow within and actually finally get to that point where we understand the whole of creation. Okay? Um, and it might take lifetimes, but it's still, that's still the ultimate goal, guys. It's to grow. Okay? Um, every single lesson that we learn, be it if we think about it as a negative or a positive, because in truth, everything is actually a good thing. um, everything that we learn from other people and ourselves is for this, is for the transformation, is for the growth, okay, of the soul. When we begin to think about it in that term, we are going to begin to realize that we need to take a little bit of time to understand these lessons, to ask ourselves, now what is this teaching me? What is this interaction teaching me about myself? What is going on within myself? What's coming up, to be healed? Stuff like that. It makes it easier. It makes the journey of transformation, of growth, of ascension easier when we begin to ask ourselves these questions. All right, guys, so I'm going to begin the reading. I'm using Kyle Gray's Keepers of the Light Oracle cards, and this is how it looks like. All right, sorry about the glare. And it's going to be a 3-card spread. I am infatuated with the number 3 as of late. Everything that I'm getting is in 3s. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do the reading real quick, and then I'm going to explain exactly what I mean by that after the reading's over, or maybe during it. Who knows? All right, let's begin. Oh, there's one. I keep hearing the Trinity all the time. Every single time I see it, I see Trinity, Holy Trinity, and it always, oh, here goes another one because it jumped right out. It always reminds me of our connection to God's source and Jesus and Melchizedek and all those beings that came before us to pave the way in so many ways, in so many respects for our ascension. All right, the first card I received was Lady Nada, Heart Awakening. Here it is. So, being uncomfortable. A lot of us are asked to look within and become uncomfortable with what we see within us. Why do we become uncomfortable with this? It's because the energy that we are still holding on to is no longer necessary for our growth. We went through this energy in the past, right? And why do we feel we still need to hold on to that? It's not necessary anymore. So looking at that in that term where we've learned from the lesson, we've given thought to it, we've healed whatever it is that needed to be healed, and we expanded our awareness of ourselves to include our connections to God's source and other people in that manner. So heart awakening means that when we do this, when we actually go within and we I guess you could say dissect in so many ways these incidents or these things that played out in the past, we begin to expand our hearts. We begin to receive more love. We begin to give more love back. That is the whole reason why we are being taught these lessons. And sometimes, yeah, they may seem a little bit harsh, but they weren't really meant to break us. They were meant to teach us a more compassionate way of doing things, a more compassionate way of thinking of ourselves. Okay? A lot of these lessons that we've learned throughout our lifetime have everything to do with how we think and view ourselves. If we are still holding on to pain, if we're still holding on to fear, if we're still clinging on to a what if, this is going to manifest itself in a lesson so that we are able to acknowledge it, heal it, and move on as an expanded and grown being from it. Okay? An expansion of the heart center is necessary for us to understand that we truly do deserve compassion, that we truly do deserve love, and that others do as well. Lady Nala comes when we need to acknowledge that about ourselves, when we need to realize that, hey, we came down here to love and be love. We didn't come down here to suffer. Okay? Thank you, Lady Nala. Next one is Kalima, facing fear. Again, there's a theme going on here, okay? So, as everybody knows, Kali is a Hindu goddess, and she is about tearing down of the unnecessary energies in so many ways. A lot of people fear the energy of Kali because they feel it's destructive. But in truth, it's not. It's productive. It's just like the force of nature, where sometimes natural events destroy or make way, make paths clear. That's what she's saying. She makes paths cleared so that we can walk through them without any barriers of the self, right? So we need to face what it is that we are being asked to see. That is, in so many ways, we create our own barriers or our own veil. Okay. I wrote a post today, and this truly is what I meant. Okay. Her energy was engulfed in me when I wrote this post. I was, I felt fire just burning all over me, transforming and transmuting. And it's what I call God fire. Okay. This is what Archangel Kamael, I have been working with for the past few, actually a month now. um, he is the archangel of transformation, of raising the vibration within, of actually diving deep into the root of your own personal darkness and transmuting everything that no longer serves you. And Kali does the same thing. Her energy is transformative. It is a path uh, clearer, right? So she always says that anything that we face that may seem like an obstacle or a veil, it is placed in front of us for a lesson, for a purpose. It is something that we have created for our soul's expansion. Understand it in that term where it's a positive, not a negative, okay? Sometimes it's very hard for us to see beyond the negative of a situation, of a barrier that we place in front of us. But understand that everything has a place and everything is for our growth, it's for our transformation, it's for our ascension, okay? She always claims that whenever we do not, whenever we deny that part of ourselves, whenever we deny the lesson, whenever we deny the cycles that we are going through, or we make excuses, I guess you could say, for others' behaviors, or our own behavior, we're falling into that breaking of the cycle, with the energy of Kali coming in as a pretty much like a hurricane to destroy to destroy that mentality that we have within, okay? Because that is honestly what needs to happen. We need to remove it, to remove the barrier that we have created, to remove the veil that we have created, to remove the false sense of, I guess you could say, it's not a false sense. It's more like fear-based energy that we create for ourselves, okay? Uh, she always, always, always will show you the better path by helping you destroy these barriers. And by destroying the barriers, it doesn't necessarily mean to be destructive or self-destructive. It means to acknowledge the barrier. It means to contemplate the barrier. It means to find a resolution to it. The better way around it or through it. She says through it. Because if you go around a barrier, it's kind of like you're not acknowledging it. It's like you're like, oh, I'm going to find an easier way out, right? But if you go through it, you're going to realize that the barrier never existed. It never existed. We just tend to do this to ourselves for growth. Okay, thank you, Kali. The next one is Odin, Psychic Insight. Okay, and Odin has been coming up a lot for a lot of people. He is the All Father, right? And what does the All Father mean? It's like the all seeing, the all knowledgeable, you know. Um, with the third eye, it is very important that we continue to trust ourselves, that we continue to look within, and we continue to understand that whenever we have a fear or a doubt within our abilities, we need to focus on why. Okay. Was it a program that we ran into? Was it somebody that told us something a long time ago? Was it even our own mind telling us something, right? Acknowledging this, understanding what thought forms are within you that are creating a disconnect in so many ways with your soul and your higher self. Um, because truthfully, like I said, there's no real barriers. There's no veil. It's just us. We create this. Okay. So for all of you guys who are in doubt of your abilities, who say, oh, I am not as psychic as so and so, I am not a medium, I am not this, I am not that. Acknowledge what you're saying first. Why do you feel that way? Sometimes when we acknowledge the words that are playing in our mind, we seek a solution. We actually see it right there and then. And we know that truthfully, when we categorize ourselves or we limit our ability to one or two categories or whatever the heck you want to call it, we are limiting ourselves. Okay? We are not just a psychic. We are not just a medium. We are not just a reader. We are not just an energy healer facilitator. Okay? We are not just one thing. We are multi-dimensional beings. We exist in so many different dimensions, guys. We exist beyond this dimension. We exist beyond the 7th. We exist beyond the 12th. You understand where I'm going with this? We are God sparks. Where is God? God is within all of us. God has never been outside of us. We're infinite beings. Therefore, why do we limit ourselves? Why do we place ourselves in categories? We are not a category. We are God sparks, right? And that is what Odin teaches, to remember who you truly are by looking within and acknowledging your own abilities to connect with yourself and with your higher self, and understanding that dimensions of reality or dimensions of spiritual reality, whatever you want to call it, is again another label. We're beyond all of that. When we begin to understand the truth that we are infinite beings, that we are beyond the categories, we begin to seek a higher connection. We do not seek what is within our reach, like material things or acknowledgement from others, or just acceptance of others or like, them accepting us for who we are. We don't seek that anymore. We seek ourselves in truth and who we truly are, because that is what truly matters. That is who we truly are here to remember. Like, what we're here to remember completely is our higher self that is the closest thing to the throne of God. Okay? That is our God spark. So let me tell you guys about what's been going on in my absence. I've been getting pulled left and right, and that's good because you know what? It is something that I have to do. Um, and I've taken the time to be with myself and with my family, and we're actually moving to a different location, and we're all very excited about this. I've gotten a different job. I can't really say what it is publicly because I'm under contract, but I'm letting you know that I am able to help other people. I'm able to reach beyond um, what I was reaching as of late. So I'm able to encourage so many of our brothers and sisters to look within and to find their own truth within with this job. It's beautiful. I absolutely am enthralled with that opportunity, and I'm just amazed at that it actually was that easy to manifest it. Um, but I am still doing personal readings and helping others to create their own healing energy, and the flow of energy is getting very high. So a lot of us have been able to tap into it easily, and it's beautiful to say the least. But yes, I'm still doing that, but I am actually cooperating with a lot of my brothers and sisters in this truth movement, in the inner truth movement. That's what I like calling it. Where we are all of the same mindset, which is beautiful because that is what we are here to remember, our connection and our to the oneness, which is all of us, right? So I have a lot of beautiful brothers and sisters who I work with and talk to daily that are very aware of this reality, where we are to encourage whomever comes to us for guidance to seek their own inner truth and guidance. And we give them the tools, like we give them information and where to find it. We practice with them any meditations or any healing facilitations, and we teach them how to do it themselves, which is very much self-empowering. Okay. um, and we do this all because we are here as helpers. We're here to help each other. And so it's kind of like we're not here to control. We're not here to lead. We are here to help. Okay? So if we give advice, we give it freely. If we give knowledge, we give it freely without um, asking for anything in return, because that's, whatever. But if one wants to donate, that's great. If one wants to schedule a one-on-one with me or with my brothers and sisters, that's beautiful too. It's not something that we are closed to or closed off to or whatnot. But it's honestly, our missions are very much humanitarian in mind. Okay, and that's why the job that I got is that, in my mind, is that push and that step towards helping people worldwide to be able to understand themselves better, to be able to step into their own power and their own truth easily. Um, Another thing is what I've been noticing about, I guess you could say, judgments, and I've been there, done that. Okay, and I am not, I guess you could say, immune to that. Understanding that we must soar beyond what we see in our lives. We must actually be like the bald eagle and soar above it all and understand the bigger picture. That is what we are here to do. That is how we grow. And when we start judging other people, like we start judging other readers, we start judging other light workers out there, are we truly doing what we're supposed to do? Are we truly soaring above to see the bigger picture? And I've noticed this about myself, where due to current, like not current energies, but past energies, that I've actually judged myself and others, and that's something that I had to work through. And it's so funny because I was asking myself, like, as of late, I was thinking about it. I'm like, am I still doing this? Am I still catching myself judging? Am I still wondering? Am I still, you know what I mean? And so yesterday, on my way back from the city that we are moving to, um, I saw something curious on the side of the road. And mind you, I never slow down. When I drive long distance, I have to just keep driving. I don't like stopping. So I saw something curious and I was just like, what is that? That thing's huge. Oh my God. I was just talking to myself, with my daughter was in the car, of course, and she's like, what do you see? And I said, I don't know. It looks like something bad, like big. And so I slowed down, and it was a bald eagle. And it was like flying, like moving out of the way. It was eating something. I think it was like a rabbit or something that got ran over, and so it was eating it, and then it moved out of the way, and I just saw the expanse of it. Like, I was just like, how huge is that thing? And then I was just like, oh my gosh, that thing is like, it's ridiculously beautiful. And so I kept going, of course, to leave it space, of course, to enjoy its meal. And it came back and started eating again. And I kind of like slowed down even more just to stare at it because I was enthralled. But this is the third time I've seen a bald eagle. This is the second time I've seen it that close. The first two times I've seen it was with when we had a family little outing. Where we decided to go to, there's a dam here, so we decided to go to the dam, to drive on top of it. And me and my fiance and my daughter were, well, he was driving, and then I would I was like, oh my gosh, there's something flying in the air, and it was a bald eagle. And then a little ways over, we saw a hawk. So it looked really, really weird because, these two are predators and they're very territorial, and they were both fishing with each other side by side, and it was just amazing. And then, so the second time I saw one was at a school assembly, and the actual eagle was really small. I guess it was some type of like growth thing that it had, where it wasn't as big as they usually are in the wild. So this one unfortunately couldn't go out in the wild because it would have been killed. But so I saw it, and I was just like, it's just so, the energy that comes from that creation of God is just beautiful, and it's magnificent, and it's very encouraging. So I saw that, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I am able to see beyond the small scope of things. I'm able to realize that there's more to a situation than just my own perception of it. I'm able to tap into the energy that is within that situation, and to acknowledge it, and to see what it teaches me. And that is what the bald eagle represents. It represents looking beyond that, looking at the bigger picture. And so, I'm so grateful for that sign. And so I always begin to think about, past situations that I've been in, and understand that, hey, it wasn't a bad thing. It was for growth. It was never supposed to be seen as something negative. You know what I mean? So anyway, I hope this helps you guys, because this new moon coming up is in Aquarius, and an Aquarian looks deep within. They look at their shadows, they look at their light, they look and acknowledge it, they ponder, they, you know, try to work through it, right? um my fiance is an Aquarius, so every time we discuss things that he has encountered at work, or that he's going through at, you know, on a personal level with his coworkers, we discuss it at full length, and we discuss it in a manner where he acknowledges the situation as being a lesson learned. He acknowledges the situation as being for growth purposes. And that is why I admire him, because when we barely got together, he was the one, you know, teaching me this, and now I'm learning, and learning it because of him. And so that eagle represents him in so many ways, where I'm actually learning these lessons in a better, or a more higher scope of thinking. Um, so I'm not limiting myself anymore. So again, thank you guys for watching. I will have another free guided meditation for the new moon. It's going to be on Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Time on Star Seeds of Love and Light, which is a private group on Facebook. If you guys want to join, go ahead and click on the link below. I'm going to put that information down there. And I would like to give a shout out to one of my soul sisters, um, Andrea of Vox Cora. She is a beautiful and talented psychic medium. She's an artist. Oh my gosh, you guys! She has like this thing that she offers. Is it's a called a channeled soul drawing. It's pretty much artistic work of your soul and the energies that are you're currently in. And she gives like, so she draws it out, right? And it's just the most beautiful thing, because it's everything's so symbolic and it's so directly for you. And then she explains the symbols and explains the energies and explains, you know, who came in, like if it's somebody from a passed over loved one, or if it's one of your guides, or if it's, you know, whatever, whoever came in to give her the information, she explains it on there thoroughly. And it's just such a beautiful thing to have that part of you be relayed in such an artistic and wonderful way that you're able to just know that's you. So I got one done, by the way. That's why I'm so like happy about it, because it's just like when I saw it as soon as I said, I'm like, that is me. That is straight out me right there. And then this was way before I even read the email that she sent me with all the information about, you know, like what each symbol means and represents and stuff like that. And then when she talked about it, I was just like, oh my gosh, I was so giddy at the same time as like just overwhelmed, because the connection that we both have to one another is so intense and it's so real that I figured out how it truly feels to know the oneness. You know, you have people in your life that make you feel that way, and she is one of them. And I have like, I am so blessed to have so many other brothers and sisters that I feel the oneness, the truth of the oneness within and within them. I see it daily. And so I highly encourage you guys to check her out, and I'm going to put her link down below as well. And again, thank you so much, Andrea, for all the help that you have given me and all the beautiful encouragement that you've always given me, and for being there for me. um, and then I highly encourage everybody to just look within, you guys. You know, it may be uncomfortable at times, but we have to we have to grow, to be the person that we are here to be the one that you've dreamed about. You know, it's all within you. Okay? Everything that is around you comes to you to acknowledge your inner self. All right. Thank you again for watching. And again, if you guys want to check her out, I'm putting the link below. If you guys want to check out Starseed so you can get the free meditation, I'll put the link below too. Thank you again for watching. You guys have a good week. I love you. Bye.